Welcome to Literacy Home Learning. This is a literacy unit appropriate for children learning from home during this extended school closure. It is designed to provide learning opportunities for primary age children and will help to develop their ability within the national curriculum. This is lesson number 2 in the series. Please listen along, pause the video when necessary, and listen out for the task appropriate for your age and ability. To be prepared for today's lesson, make sure you have something to write with and your home learning book. Follow along with the video and be sure to pause when you have been given a task to complete. You will know when to pause the video when you see the symbol in the bottom corner of the screen. Today's learning objective is to make inferences and predictions. Time for your first quick task. With your home teacher, discuss the main events of the story so far. Remember to make notes in your home learning book. In today's lesson, we will continue to explore the book Tyrannosaurus Drip by Julia Donaldson and David Roberts. In a swamp beside a river, where the land was thick with veg, lived a herd of duck-billed dinosaurs who roamed the water's edge. And they hooted up with rivers, and they hooted up with reeds, and they hooted up with bellyfuls of juicy water weeds. Now across the rushy river, on a hill the other side, lived a mean Tyrannosaurus with his grim and grisly bride. And they shouted, up with hunting, and they shouted, up with war, and they shouted, up with bellyfuls of duck-billed dinosaur. But the two Tyrannosauruses, so grisly, mean and grim, couldn't catch the duck-billed dinosaurs because they couldn't swim. And they muttered, down with water, and they muttered, down with wet, and they muttered, what a shame that bridges aren't invented yet. Now a little Compsognathus, but for short we'll call her Comp, found a duck-billed egg and stole it from a nest beside the swamp. And she swam with it, and ran with it, and murmured, clever me, and won't the baby Comps be thrilled with duck-billed egg 4? Tea! She dropped the egg in terror, and went running for her life from the mean Tyrannosaurus and his grim and grisly wife. And the duck-billed egg went rolling, and at last it came to rest in, of all unlikely places, the Tyrannosaurus nest. Now the mother tea had great big jaws and great enormous legs, but her brain was rather little, and she couldn't count her eggs. And she sang, hatch out, my terrors, with your scaly little tails, and your spiky little toothies, and your scary little nails. Out hatched babies 1 and 2, as perfect as could be, but Mother T was horrified by baby number 3. And she grumbled, he looks weedy. And she grumbled, he looks weak. And she grumbled, what long arms, and look, his mouth is like a beak. So what is inference? Inference is where we read between the lines to gather a greater understanding of what we are looking at and to reach a logical conclusion. We can reach a logical conclusion that it is cold outside because the girl is wearing clothes that keep her warm. Time for your next quick task. Look at the pictures below. What inferences can you make with your home teacher? Key Stage 2, can you give reasons for your inferences? To make a prediction, you'll need to work out what might happen next based on what you have already read and what you know about the type of story. Using what we already know about these pictures, We could predict that the snowman will melt when the sun comes out. When making inferences and predictions, it's important to explain why you have made them. To do this, you will need to add another clause to a sentence using a conjunction. Here's a quick task to help you do that. Using the conjunction because, can you complete these sentences to give a reason for the inference or prediction? I think the snowman will melt. I think the weather outside is cold. Year 1 and 2, here's your main task. In your home learning book, can you make 2 inferences about the pictures below and then predict what you think will happen next in the story? Year 2, can you use the conjunction because to explain your inferences and predictions? Year 3 and 4, here's your main task. In your home learning book, can you make 4 inferences about the pictures below and then predict what you think will happen next in the story? Make sure you give reasons for your predictions. Can you use the conjunctions because, as, due to, and for this reason? And finally, Year 5 and 6, here's your main task. In your home learning book, write a paragraph explaining what inferences you can make about the story so far, and then predict what you think will happen next in the story. Make sure you give reasons for your predictions. Use a range of causal conjunctions to give reasons for all of your inferences and predictions. So how have you done? Time to share your work with the class. Read your work out to your home teacher, but don't forget to check for spellings and punctuation mistakes first. Well done everybody, that's the end of lesson 2. Be sure to join us again in the next lesson.